I am getting so weary of hearing the hate or at least the negativity toward dealers. Like, none of you out there watching this in YouTube land are victims of coin dealers. There's crooks in every business. But to just single out coin dealers on my channel as being a coin dealer myself is disingenuous. I'll give you an example here. And I want to read this comment, and I just grow so weary of it. It's the same old, same old. This is the same mentality that keeps you from being successful in life, period. You'll never go anywhere or do anything when you express this kind of an attitude. And all I did was respond. I try to respond to people's comments, at least like them. Not because I disagree or because I want to argue, but a lot of times I don't agree with the person's comment, so I'll say something, or the comment is actually inaccurate. I know better, and I'm going to correct the comment. I feel inclined to do that because that's kind of like what my videos are about, educating. And you come in and you comment something that's wrong. I don't want people to learn the wrong information. I want them to learn the accurate information, the factual information. So that just kind of goes hand in hand for me. It says here, I would recommend to both owners to submit their coins to PCGS for grading. Once they are returned, I negotiate prices. I will probably buy both because I know my serious Morgan collectors want that key date. I'll pay 80% of retail. I'll make a little money, but I'll be making 4 people happy. 2 existing collectors and 2 sellers who I might get interested in collecting too. How many dealers out there today who would do the same thing? Almost every single one of them would do this, except recommend they send the PCGS. Because if people come in the shop, you need to buy the coins. I mean, you can tell them if they're balking at your price that maybe they need to send in the PCGS. If you think they might be cleaned, then it's good to get a net grade on them, a genuine. That way you can make a better offer because the offer is going to be less if they're problem free. But I just told them, I said, when you're a dealer, that's not always the best option. And my video, what I'm trying to say is I was just asking what you would pay. We know they're G4. We know they're already accurate. I did mention grading a little bit. But the thing of it is I only mention grading in the sense that you never know what it's going to end up grading. So you have to be careful with your pricing. That's all I was doing. Trying to educate someone who has never been behind the counter. And then they comment back on me on this. I hear what you're saying, but I get tired of hearing a dealer tell a seller their bills are bigger than the sellers. So you hang out in coin shops all day long and dealers say this all the time? That is an exaggeration. And that is not what a dealer is saying. I don't care if you're a coin dealer or whether you own a grocery store or a clothing store or a comic book store or whatever it is you do, a restaurant. You took the risk to start that business, and trust me, that takes bigger kahunas than you and your bills. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm special. That's not the point. But dealers are going to say when someone balks at their pricing that, hey, they've got to pay a certain amount. 20% is not always enough. 10% sometimes is enough. But sometimes it takes 30%. And, when you don't know what a dealer's bill, so that's all a dealer's trying to explain it, okay? That's not a dealer saying my bills are bigger than yours. That's silly sounding to me. This mentality kills the hobby. No, it does not kill the hobby. It kills you, but not the hobby, especially for mint state only collectors, whatever that means. Prices keep rising up, but the return the value of collections is dropping faster. It is dropping compared to what it was right after COVID. But that's normal. That's happened. It goes up and it goes down. That's the market. What about collectors' investment in time and money? Obviously you've got time and money in it, but the coin dealer has to buy it at a certain amount. And they have a right to say, look, I've got to make a certain amount. I've got bills and this, and this. All they're saying is they need margins. They need a certain margin. That's all they're saying. Not saying anything else, not trying to trash your bills or trash you. That's not what's going on here. It said a poor investment compared to other opportunities. Oh, it is worth less now than ever, a poor investment compared to other opportunities. So much so I don't recommend to anyone, family or friends, to become collectors. So you just said that you just said up here that maybe 2 existing collectors interested in collecting 2. But down here you're telling your family not to do it. How nice. There was a day serious collectors bought serious pieces to leave the family members to remember them by. They still do it. I don't know where you've been. And there's still deals out there. I've got video after video after video. How to become a coin dealer, how to buy like a coin dealer, how to buy Silver Smart, where to sell your coins, how to appraise your coins. I've got videos that if you watch them, you wouldn't even need a dealer. But yet you comment like this on my video. You're wrong. There's plenty of dealers out there to be glad to help you out. I help people out all the time. I'll give you advice. I'm not special. I wasn't born a coin dealer. I didn't roll out of bed or born out of my mom as a coin dealer. I had to learn this. I clawed my way up. Yeah, Grandpa was, a part-time antique dealer. They had a grocery store when Mom was growing up. I wasn't alive then. World War II veteran. Dad, dirt poor. Had well water, no TV, heated by wood. Had a little fuel oil furnace in there too. We took baths in water that was heated on the stove in the wintertime. Dad, I'm just saying, I come from nothing. And Dad struggled a lot. And he bought and sold coins to make it. But not to have that memory ruined by a dealer who tells you your father collected junk all these years. Well, if you just said that serious pieces, okay, well, if you're buying stuff from Blanchard or .gov Mint and stuff like that you're buying it based off the packaging and their marketing, then it is junk. The coins itself's not junk, but you paid too much for it. While pushing back a 1921 peace dollar, no dealer is going to call this junk. It's unfair and disingenuous. No dealer is going to take a CAC stickered 1921 peace dollar and say your father collected junk. It just amazes me. I've done video after video after video describing what would be called junk by dealers. It's not really junk, but they call 90% junk silver. It's not an insult to the coins. It's not an insult to your collection. It is a generic term used to describe something that is on the low end of value, or it was marketed for its packaging, for its signatures by a company, and it's just not worth that much. Not even close to what you paid for. It is not an insult to call something junk, okay, unless you say it in a derogatory way. It's just a generic term that we all use. Low value stuff. If I say it's low value, it's the same thing. Okay, it's the lowest of low. It's calls. If I say your peace dollar is a call peace dollar, that just means it's clean, damaged, has some issues, or it's a slick, meaning it's really worn down to where you can hardly see the date. That doesn't mean it's worthless. Doesn't mean nobody wants it. It just means it's on the low end of value. That's all it means. And listen, if you ever want to get anywhere in life, you have to quit being a victim of everything around you. You cannot do that. Literally, if you want to be successful as a collector or as a dealer or buying coins and leaving stuff to your family, you need to listen to the dealers like me. There are plenty of them out there. There's plenty of them that aren't, but there's plenty of them that are. I guarantee it. And you need to talk with them. Quit being their victim. If you've got this attitude going in a coin shop, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to feel it a mile away. And I grew up in flea markets. We struggled, man. We sold night crawlers. We sold minnows. We cut grass. We sold junk at flea markets. We went dumpster diving. We pulled stuff off the streets that people threw away. Dad would do it all the time, throw it in the back of his truck. We had a boat, a little deep V boat that we piled up, and our goal was to never bring anything back from the flea market. And we sold anything and everything we could to make a living. We did really well in 1980, 81 when silver went up, and I had a savings, and I had some coins, and when all that dropped, I had to let Mom had to sell my coins. I had to get into my bank account and to buy school clothes one year. We traded pop bottles in to get pizza. I wasn't born rich. I'm not rich right now. I help a lot of people. I have a lot of people that rely on me, and I'm just sick to death of seeing the negative comments towards me and towards dealers in general, because I know what a lot of them have went through just to get where they're at. And I know some of them did it the wrong way, but that's not all of them. So just remember that when you're commenting on my videos. I do my videos to educate, to help people, to be a good dealer, to build up this community. And if that's not good enough for you, you can't go and check out my other 1900 videos that are better than maybe the one you didn't like. So anyways, thanks for watching, and For those of you who do care, for those of you who supported me, I love you and I appreciate every single bit of it because I couldn't do this without any of you. I wouldn't even have this success without you guys. Without you and God, I wouldn't have success for the ones that know and understand. Have a great day.